back, y'all. So you can see that we're in a different spot and we are not in my truck. Today we are up in Ainsworth, Nebraska, and we are spending the night in a restored gas station from the 1920s. We've got old school gas pumps sitting out here, and this building has been completely restored inside. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's been turned into a rental, an overnight rental. It's on a website I believe called VRBO, and I'll put a link down in the video description so you guys can check it out and potentially rent it if it's something that you want to do. But the real beauty of this place is inside, so let's head on in. Here we are as you come into the main front room of the building, which this room would have probably been like the front of the service station, but you can see they have remodeled it. We've got, you know, a full kitchen here, sink, stove, microwave, refrigerator, etc. And like the decorations in here are all really cool. It's like all really kind of retro looking stuff, even down to the curtains and whatnot on the walls. They're all different throughout the place. These here in the kitchen are the same. You've got cool old stuff up here. Like this is all old classics, you know, gas station stuff. These are old salt and pepper shakers. This one is from Bud's Conoco service in Marion, Kansas. And just cool classic old stuff here, like an old savings piggy bank thing. But this is from First National Bank out of Belden, Nebraska. And this is from the 70s, I believe. Oh, patented in 1919. So I don't know how old this actually is, but it's neat. Lots of cool old stuff in here, such as this. We did already bring our drinks and our clothes and whatnot in here. My wife is holding the camera. But they even gave us some classic sodas to drink. Look at these in glass bottles. So we might have to open those up later, although I do have a tasty beer for tonight. Let's kind of take a look around everywhere in here. So you've got a laundry utility room, which is pretty basic. Once again, there's different curtains in there. And then as you kind of head into the bathroom, which is neat, it's all been remodeled. These tiles are metal. These aren't porcelain tiles. They've actually got a couple sitting here from something they probably had to do, but straight up metal tiles here, tin, metal, whatever you'd like to call them. And it's kind of cool. They have some old school stuff in here. Like this thing, I couldn't tell you where it's from, but at one point it was like a hand lotion or soap dispenser that you pushed on the bottom. Tiny itty bitty little sink in here, a classic scale. But when this place was built, these restrooms were accessible from the outside, and there was a separate men and women's restroom. So there was quite a bit of remodeling, I believe, to get this functioning the way it was. I think some of the tile in here was originally placed, and then as they moved things around, they had to redo the tile. But come back out, and you've got your little like dining area here, classic table, some more old, you know, kind of cool looking curtains in here. This thing, yeah, this thing in the corner. I don't know what this is. I think I might have to send a message to the host and ask them. It is super thick, solid metal. It is in the ground, and you can open it up here, and it's just a hollow ball. And so I feel like maybe at one point there was like, you could pop this open and drop cash into it. I'm not sure, but I mean, you can see this is a thick hunk of metal. My only thought is that it was a safe. If you guys know what that is, I guess tell me. And then on the wall here, you've got some original pictures of the station. So if you go up to the top one here, this is the original gas station from, the photo is from the 1920s, and it's their Christmas card. And if you can see, there's no garage on the side here. So the garage was added at a later date. And then going down, they've got another old photo, and this one says, Floyd Crone's Conoco service circa 1960. And it's got the Floyd brothers here standing there. And you can barely see, but the garage would have been attached at that time. Cool old school Coke machine there. And then you've got another picture here. This is from the 1990s when it was a shop called Exhaust Pros, Silver's Exhaust Pros. So in this next room over here is where that would have taken place. But then you've also got a little stuff over here like a classic Dr. Pepper sign that lights up, which is neat. And just some old school stuff like an old lubricant cart, oil cart. And they give you some games and whatnot to play. This thing over here we thought was pretty cool. So they've got a bunch of classic road maps. Like there's Nebraska, just all old school stuff from surrounding areas, Iowa, Texas, etc. And then right here, they've got an old Conoco credit card application. And this is still all there. Look at that. That is from probably the 70s, I would think, judging by the Corvette. So that's neat. And the fact that all this stuff has survived is really cool. I love this kind of stuff. But the main thing is this awesome hangout area. This is your bedroom for the evening. And it is full of cool classic stuff. This would have been the garage portion of the shop. There is a garage door right here that is, I imagine it's still functional, but they've got it insulated and they've got the windows covered. And then just cool old stuff, like it's a modern TV obviously, but a classic TV stand, old school gumball machine with a bowl of pennies so you can actually use it. You've got some more old school stuff here, an old scale, and this is all big metal. And if you put a penny in it, it does work. So maybe we'll weigh ourselves here in a second. And just more classic garage stuff. So this is a battery tester from back in the day. Startoscope will double check your battery. And I'm not gonna try it, but it would be cool if that still worked. And then you've got some classic photos here, some old school Nebraska license plates. I believe this may be the owner of the building, the owner and the guy that restored it, Phil. This is the filling station, P-H-I-L, filling station. You've got more classic stuff over here. These, some of you probably know what these are, but back in the day, drive-in movie theaters, you would pull up, park your car, take this off, hang it on your window, and you had a volume knob so that you could listen to the movie. And along with that, they've got some classic movie ads here, and these are from the Royal Theater, which was here in Ainsworth, Nebraska. So this is from November of 1973, and you've got March of 1979. Corvette Summer was playing, Soylent Green. So some cool movies, Jolly Time Popcorn. I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Jolly Time Popcorn, oh, it says here, was started in Sioux City, Iowa. So close neighboring state. More retro curtains and things like that. You've got like retro furniture and whatnot in here. Cool old car display type of stuff, like you've got some old belts hanging here on an old display rack. And then as you can see, this is just a really cool old building. Old rotary phone. Some of you might be young enough that you have no idea how this works, but I can remember these from my grandma's house. The lights in here are really neat if you look up. These are old wooden wheels, and the center cap on the wheel says Overland. It's probably really hard to see, so I don't know what those would have came off of, but they just made these themselves, hung the wires around them. The very top of it is an old school oil can that everything is kind of ran through out there, which is very, very neat. Retro lamps, more automotive memorabilia up here, Champion spark plugs. You have a record player here that it says works. I couldn't figure out how to make it work, but it's got a record in there. You've got some records, and it will turn on, but I couldn't get it to play a record. But I'm not much of a record guy, so I couldn't tell you. Cool little clock. Old school bed, like that's an old headboard. You can tell, like this is all kind of classic styled stuff. And you've got more signage here, More signage over here. This is another classic car, a Rambler Classic, and this was owned by Lawrence Fuchs. Lawrence Fuchs, I don't know how to say their last name, out of Belden, Nebraska. You've got a classic oil display case here, and pull that out. Oh, there we go. There's still oil in that. These are still full. That has never been opened. So, classic. I think all of these still have oil in them. Let's not spill that all over the floor here. Which is neat. And then you've got this, which this one has been opened. And some of you old school dudes would know that this is separate. So you would get these old school oil cans, and then you would just pop this down into it. It's got a cutter here. You would jam that down into the oil can, and then you could pour it out and pour it into your car. So that's really cool. As you go back in here, you have more automobile memorabilia, wheel tags, and this stuff was found in the building during the restoration of it. Classic shelving and stuff here. This is a lantern that won't turn on, but I really wish it would. Little kitty lamp. And then you have another bedroom back here. This is kind of a spare bedroom, I guess you would say. You've got a pull-out bed here. I think it's called a trundle. And more memorabilia. This is really cool here. This is a Conoco uniform worn by Floyd Crone around the 1960s when he managed this very station. So this is his actual outfit, that's really cool. And more memorabilia in here. You've got some more license plates, a grill, I believe, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's an Impala grill, and some more license plates. 75 County is the county that we are currently in. You've got some more. You've got like a map of the roadway here. This goes all the way through, and I believe goes right through Ainsworth, where we are. We are right there in Nebraska. We've got a large map here, and then some more photos. These are photos of the owners who restored the building here. I believe that is their son. So, it's an amazing place. I'll be honest with you guys, we got here yesterday. My wife and I stayed the night last night. We're spending 2 nights here, so we will be here again tonight. But last night we wanted to just enjoy some time to ourselves, and I figured I'd wait to film until today. But we're gonna be hanging out tonight, play some games and whatnot. I've got a good beer to drink, or try anyways. Hopefully it's good. And we've got some food to make. I don't know about it, but we'll give it a shot. And yeah, this is overall, it's just a really, really cool spot. I love stuff like this. The time and effort that they put into restoring this place is pretty cool. They have a full book right here of photos from when they did the restoration and how it was when they started, everything that they had to do to it inside and outside in order to make this work. Since we're standing right here in the main shop portion of this building, you would have pulled a vehicle in and there was a lift in the floor here that they had to remove. It said in the book they also had to fill in 3 different pits in order to level the ground out, because a lot of these old shops, if they didn't have a lift, they would have had a pit dug into the ground that you could just pull your car over, and then somebody could walk down into the pit and work underneath the vehicle. Many oil change shops still do something similar. So yeah, super rad building. You know, even the lamp is an old parking meter. I'm not going to put any money in there, but I imagine you could make it work. And I don't know where it's from, but it's neat. Why don't we check this scale and see where I'm at on this thing. So from Pace Manufacturing Company out of Chicago, Illinois. And this is going to tell me that I'm overweight because it has a height and weight chart on here. But given the fact that this is probably from like the 50s or 60s, everybody was a little bit smaller back then. But you gotta stand up here, and then we'll insert our coin, and the scale should jump right away. If you guys can see that, maybe there is a reflection. Here we go. And I am 220 pounds of solid American beefcake. And at 6 foot tall, it says I should weigh 175 pounds. So I'm a little bit chubby, I guess, but what's wrong with that, right? Yeah, overall, just really, really cool spot. Stoked to be here, stoked that they have this open to the general public. This is one of those places where if you get on the website and you want to stay here, you have to request permission to stay there. You can't just book it and come. Keep that in mind, but it would be a cool spot to bring some friends out. You're in a really cool area of Nebraska. You're not far off the Niobrara River. We spent some time today driving around, and I showed my wife some of the spots that I have visited in previous videos. Merritt Reservoir is very close. We visited Snake River Falls. We went into Valentine, Nebraska, and we had some lunch also. So if you guys saw the super spicy or the Stay Spicy post on my Instagram stories, that was from Valentine, Nebraska. Always follow me on Instagram for dumb stories and stupidity. Link in description. But I think I'm just gonna crack a beer open while we're standing here. I did bring some old ones with me in the cooler, but I did grab some new ones, and I brought out the tiny cooler. Actually, I threw some stickers on there from the recent live stream. Let's see, I got that recently. These were all in a sticker pack that I got. I thought the van was really cool. I don't know if I showed that one. Travis gave me that a while ago. It's a skate shop that his buddy owns up in Milwaukee. Tossed that one on here. And then this one I got a few live streams back, but I didn't know where to put it. I thought that's a great sticker. Worst case, Ontario, a bear will kill you. That's not the beer we're gonna be drinking. I picked up something new. Let's see what we got here. So we've got Black Tooth Brewing Bomber Mountain Amber Ale, 4.6%. Drink the West. I imagine this might be out of Colorado. If you spend any time in Sheridan County, someone local will tell you a different story about the Bomber Mountain. The flavors present in this medium-bodied Irish red ale vary as widely as tales from biscuits and caramel to cotton candy. Biscuits and caramel? There's something for everyone to enjoy, and more importantly to remember about this. Sacred ground, 12,887 feet above sea level. Blacktooth Brewing, Sheridan County, Wyoming. So we've got a Wyoming brew in here. I don't have a clear glass. It's the only clear cup in the building. So, keep it classy. But I know you guys like to see the color of these. Pinky's out because we're really classy folks around here. That's a good beer, y'all. That is a good beer. I'm gonna drink the rest of it out of the can though. So yeah, we're gonna hang out. I'll take you guys back outside. There's another cool little area around the corner of the building here where they have some more old license plates and a couple of old grills, and looks like some Model T stuff hanging up. But cheers. We're gonna hang out for a bit, and then we'll probably get ourselves some dinner going. There is a very, very small chance of a meteor shower tonight. But it is fairly cloudy outside, so I don't know if we'll be able to see it, and I suck with a camera, so I probably wouldn't be able to get it set up properly to show you guys anyways. But overall, really cool place. If this is your kind of thing, I would definitely recommend checking out the link in the description below. I know this isn't sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but big ups to our fellow Nebraskans for doing something this cool. All right, folks. Kind of a change of plans. We were gonna make dinner. We had just sat down. We were gonna get a game of Scrabble going. We've got a book that we've started keeping from all the games and whatnot and where we were at. And we were gonna get the oven preheated to start making dinner, but we need like a baking sheet for what we were gonna do. We've got some crab cakes and some asparagus and stuff like that, and there's no cookie sheet to cook on. So yeah, there's one small like Pyrex dish in there that we could maybe make it work if we just cooked everything separately, but that would kind of suck, and they're not all gonna fit in there anyways. All the crab cakes wouldn't fit in the bottom of that pan. So we're gonna try to go find a restaurant. We kind of had this same situation last night when we got here, and we ended up at the local Pizza Hut, which wasn't bad, but I'd rather have something like a home-cooked meal or whatever, not necessarily Pizza Hut. So the missus is putting her pants back on over there. We're gonna go. She had pajama pants on. But yeah, let's see if we can go find a restaurant. On yonder.
Hosbees.
You just called me a hoe on camera. I'm putting that in the video again. She calls me derogatory names, and I don't like it.
I don't see anybody here.
I don't know if this is... It says open. And the lights are on. Well, let's give this a whirl, folks. Well, I think this is going to be a case of don't judge a book by its cover, because it smells amazing in here, and the place closes in like an hour, so it's probably why there's nobody here. There was somebody sitting over there, and I got the D&B burger, so I got the house burger. It's got like Thousand Island dressing and stuff on it. It sounds pretty tasty, so we're going to give this a whirl. Looks good. I'm getting ketchup on my bun, and I didn't want to do that. I did it though, all over there. I don't know if ketchup and Thousand Islands didn't go right. Fries are good. It's all like homemade fries, I think. Look at that burger. It's got some Thousand Island in there. Give this a whirl. Ooh, I'm losing my onions. Just figure it out. Well, that's all I hamburger. You boys ain't from around here, are you? Well, guys, I gotta say, it was great. Honestly, looked a little sketchy from the outside of the building. I'm getting kind of the vibe that they live there too. Yeah, but anyways, it was tasty. I'd definitely go back there, and I guess the breakfast is supposed to be good. Neither of us have our seatbelts on. It's all right. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Wear your seatbelt. But anyways, y'all, we're gonna head all back to the old filling station and get on with our game of Scrabble. Oof. Just breaking the car all the time. That's a really nice house too. There's some, look at that. That's nice. I don't really want to show you guys like the front of people's houses on here, but small town Nebraska. What was I going with this? Oh, it's been pretty cold out here recently, and we drove out to Merritt Reservoir today for any of you for any of you fisher dudes out there, and I talked to the guy in the trading post, and their ice out was just 12 days ago, which seems crazy to me because we've had open water around my area of Nebraska for weeks now. Yeah, that's also a very nice house. Just got to get off the main road here to see some of the town. But yeah, on yonder to the filling station. Sun's going down, y'all.
You're gonna show him that you're cheating or what?
I am not the one that's cheating. She's keeping score. She's probably pen whipping me, but we're getting on with this game here. And it's gotten dark out and the skies have cleared up. So we're going to try to go look at some of these stars and whatnot. We're going to get in deep and see what happens with that. Who knows? We're almost done with this. I might actually win this one. We're usually about 50-50, I feel like. When we started playing Scrabble, I would whoop her. She had no idea how to play the game, you know, because there is aspects to the game other than just spelling a word out. You know, it's kind of like chess. Where
I was just naive, and I always believed that he would not take advantage.
Oh, it's a game. You gotta try to win. You gotta take advantage of your opponent. I mean, if they don't know what they're doing, you know, blocking the double word scores or anything. You know, if a triple word comes up, even if there's something I necessarily don't have that's great, like I'm gonna shove a word on there because she's gonna try to use it next turn. I'm gonna block it, but I got points right there. We gotta score that. I guess I'll let you guys know how this 3 of one letter, 2 of another letter, and 2 of another letter. I have 3 different letters out of 7 letters on my board. 3 letters. Whack! Alright, I'll let you guys know how this whole stargazing thing goes. We'll see if we can see anything, so stay tuned, y'all. We'll probably come back and watch a movie afterwards.
Checking that the stove was off 3 times, 10 times, 20 times to appease this.
Oh, good morning, y'all. My wife is over there in the chair. Cool spot to wake up in. We ended up going out last night to try to look at the meteor shower. We went out at like, I don't know, 10:30-ish. And stood there for a while. We saw one meteor shooting star, or whatever you'd like to say. But the peak of the thing wasn't supposed to happen until like midnight, and we weren't gonna stay out there that long. So, yeah. At least we got to see one of them. Yeah, it's not a bad room to wake up in. Alright. Time for some coffee. Well, one the nice thing about the haircut is that it doesn't look terrible when I wake up. It's probably really hot. Very strong. Ooh. Should probably take some photos of this place before I leave. But I gotta say, it's definitely worth coming and checking this out. If you have the ability to. Well, y'all, we've got everything cleaned up in here and we are going to be heading out. It's been a beautiful, relaxing weekend up here. I can't say enough about this place. Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous and such a great time and such a great spot to hang out in. I don't know, I'd love to come back and see this place again. I think I'm actually going to message the owners and get a mailing address that I can send them some of my vintage license plates. I don't know if I have any from the same county that they're in, but maybe they'd enjoy getting some from outside of the county. So we'll see about that. But yeah, like I said, I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want to check this out. And as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.